Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage, all got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom what the truth is, with our hearts uncovered. Boy, detox from all of the lies you smothered. What I'm trying to kill you, boy, faith you recover.
Hi, everybody. This is Kimberly with Unseen Twisted Truths. Today, we're going to talk about the Kanye West and Candace Owens White Lives Matter shirts.
What's good, y'all? It's Fresh Man. I'm back with Kimberly. Shout out to Jabril, the co-host, and the other brother. What's his name, Kim?
Gerald.
Gerald. Gerald and Jabril, both from Detroit.
Peace.
Peace to everybody watching the video, man. This is going to be definitely a deep topic. Today, I brought this to Kimberly and her podcast, Jabril with Unseen Twisted Truth, because I think it's important for people to be aware of how the media can be used in one way or another, right? It can be used to make us emotionally reactive, especially speaking to the Black community. Like, we gotta, as the Black community, y'all, we have to stop allowing the media, quote unquote, racism and what we would consider racism to make us reactive, because there's a deeper meaning in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. I prefer Donald Trump than Biden.
This is a champion. It's a champion hat. They said you got a mega hat on. I said, man, you might want to look at that hat one more time.
Bradley tripping. Bradley,
no, I ain't tripping. I ain't never tripping. I ain't never tripping. I lived up in the Republican town for 3 years. After I left Port Huron, Michigan, I went up in the mountains. I was in Colorado for 3 years, and I lived in a Republican town. And at that point, y'all, for the Black people, for my brothers that's on this channel, I understand white people on a deeper level now. They just want to have their community safe.
I get that.
They think that all Black people is niggas on TV and we're going to fuck up their communities. And that's the truth. When I lived up there with the white people, I said, man, do you know how many guns they got? Like, y'all know Detroit. I came to Detroit on the New Year and I heard how many guns. I said, man, they got a military militia army in Detroit with guns. Then white people got 10 guns for every person in the mountains. They got so many guns. And you know what the craziest thing is for Black people that's going to watch this? They're not killing each other.
Well, I'm going to have to stop you right there, because here's the thing. One of the phrases that I think, I don't care what you say about Black Lives Matter or White Lives Matter. The term that I want to be abolished is Black on Black crime. Because understand this, crime has nothing to do with color. Crime has to do with geographical location and people that's near you. When you think about it, when you go to the white neighborhoods, they're committing crimes against each other. When you see Johnny threw his grandmama down the stairs and made her skull out of a freaking cereal bowl, they're not calling that white on white crime. So if Puerto Ricans live in a Puerto Rican neighborhood and they commit crimes against each other, Chinese live in the Chinese and they commit crime against each other, why do we want to amplify what Black people do? Because again, crime happens in a geographic location that has nothing to do with skin color.
Okay, so you know how you can beat somebody? Suppressing and segregating. You can't beat somebody as a whole. So we can't go in this as a whole and say all lives matter, spiritual lives matter, human beings matter. We can't go in this in a whole and say humans are killing each other. We can go in this and break it down in race so people can look at a different thing. We can say only blondes are killing blondes.
I will tell you, just like my man said when he lived up in Grand Rapids, I had a conversation with a guy and I actually felt what he was saying. He's a good person, church-going person, but he just said, you know what, Gerald, I'm going to tell you, I am so sick and tired of apologizing for slavery like I had slaves. And people don't realize, sometimes what they don't realize, when you sit there and you're a good person, you got to constantly listen to the ridicule and the things that happened for a time that you weren't even alive. And no matter what nobody say about, oh, it's hard being a Black man, understand that a white man sometimes has to sit here and listen to himself being berated for something he didn't do, didn't have nothing to do with, and he has to apologize for something that happened before he was even born.
But you know what a good friend of mine said? A good friend of mine said to me, stop feeding it and taking it personal, because when you feed it and take it personal, then you're giving it energy.